Hey everyone, it's James from FunFoods, and today I'm going to show you how to make this Taco Bell meatloaf. This is absolutely amazing, so keep watching and I'll show you step by step how to make this. So I got this idea from Rhett Link from their show Good Mythical Morning right here on YouTube, and they did an episode called Would It Meatloaf, and what they did was made a Taco Bell meatloaf, and they just used all the different ingredients you would find at a Taco Bell and put it into a meatloaf. I'm going to do mine a little bit different. So let's get to it. Now the first thing I'm going to do is start off with between 1.5 pounds to 1.75 pounds of ground beef. And I'm using 85/15 lean, so you can use whatever you like, it doesn't matter. I like to add some onion flavoring. I don't like to bite into an onion, but I like the flavor of an onion. So again, you can add as much or as little as you like, or you can cut up an actual onion. Also going to add some breadcrumbs. These are just plain breadcrumbs. If you don't have breadcrumbs, you can actually, if you have some bread that's been sitting out and almost stale, you can use that. And this, we're going to use roughly 1/2 cup to a cup of breadcrumbs. And as a binding agent, I just have 1 large egg. And to keep it nice and moist, I have 1/2 cup of milk. Now normally I'd put a whole cup of milk, but because this is going to be a Taco Bell meatloaf, I decided to do only 1/2 cup of milk and then the other 1/2 cup of Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Here's the other 1/2 of Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Look at that. Put some salt in there for flavoring. And lastly, because this is going to be basically a taco, we got to put some seasoning on here. I'm using mild seasoning. Now I'm going to use a little less than a tablespoon of the seasoning. Now to mix this up, I'm just going to use my hands. You don't want to overmix this because if you do, a meatloaf gets nice and tough if you overmix it. So I'm just going to use one hand because I don't want to dirty both of them. I'll add some more breadcrumbs because it's a bit wet. And I'm going to sprinkle in a few bits of sharp cheddar cheese. All right, so now I just have a loaf pan here, and I'm going to take half of my mixture, half of my meatloaf, I should say, and put it in the bottom. So now I'm going to take some cheddar cheese, and I'm going to take quite a bit of it, and we're going to fill the inside with cheddar cheese. Now, Rhett and Link, they also put lettuce on the inside of it. I don't like to cook my lettuce. I want my lettuce to be nice and crisp at the end, so we'll decorate it at the end with lettuce and sour cream, but that'll be at the very end. I will put a little bit of sour cream in here as well. Now, like I said, I am going to use a little bit of this sour cream, and I'm using the kind that comes in a pouch just to make things easier. There we go. Now just put the remainder of your meat right on top there and just form the rest of your loaf. Now at this stage, be sure your oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Right now, we're not going to put this in the oven yet. Just set this aside. We're going to bring out a small to medium bowl. And in this, we're going to put some ketchup. Now, I'm not measuring it, but I'm going to put about 1/2 cup of ketchup on here. Because you always put ketchup on top of your meatloaf. But because this is a Taco Bell meatloaf, we're going to add some more of that taco seasoning. Now I'm going to use about a teaspoon of that seasoning. Go a little less than a teaspoon and we'll see how it goes. Now I'm just going to use a spoon and I'm just going to mix this up. You can add more or less, it's to your liking. So if you like a lot of seasoning, and of course I'm using mild seasoning, but you can use hot if you'd like. No constraints here. So we'll come back to our meatloaf. And we can just take some of this seasoning and put it right on top there. Now just take your meatloaf, you're gonna put it in the oven at 350 degrees for about an hour. So after an hour of cooking, pull it out of the oven, and I'm gonna use a meat thermometer now. We wanna check to make sure it's at least 160 degrees Fahrenheit. That way it's safe to eat, and really check the meat part. Make sure you don't just get the cheese. It is at a safe temperature, but what I'm doing right now is I'm putting my temperature in my oven up to 425 degrees. I'm gonna put it back in there for about 5 minutes. I like the outside to be really brown. So after a little extra time in the oven, it's nice and hot and a little bit more brown, just the way I like it. So we're gonna let this cool off for at least 15 to 20 minutes and just let the flavor seal in there, and then we can serve it up. So I've let our meatloaf cool down for about a half hour. Now what I'm gonna do is remove it from the pan and put it on something that makes it look nice, right? So I chose this nice white dish to put this on, but before I take it out of the pan, what I'm gonna do is just take some lettuce and put it at the bottom. Now I'm just gonna remove my meatloaf and put it right on that lettuce. Let's decorate it with some more sour cream, the squeeze kind. Some cheddar cheese. And now we're going to get some pictures of this before I cut it open, and I'll get some more pictures then. Well, now it's time for the taste test. Let's see how this tastes. I got a little bit of everything on here. I got a little bit of that sauce we made for the top, got the cheese, got everything. So here we go. Nice. It's good. So it's not like a traditional meatloaf, but it is. It's kind of weird. Tastes great, also tastes a little bit like a taco. So you kind of have a best of both worlds. So if you like meatloaf and you like tacos, you're gonna love this. Well, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this Taco Bell meatloaf. It was a lot of fun, a really different way of making meatloaf, and it tasted amazing. So I hope you get a chance to make it for yourself, and if you do, please share it with me on any of my social media at FunFoodsYT. Also, check out some of the videos I have off to the side. I think you may enjoy those as well. Make sure you hit that big red subscribe button, and until then, I'll see you next time.